My beloved child, come close. I know the landscape of your heart right now is one of sheer wreckage. The ground has given way beneath your feet. The walls you leaned upon have crumbled to dust. The carefully arranged pieces of your life, the job, the relationship, the plan, the security, lie in fragments around you. And in the echoing silence of this sudden collapse, a single torturous question is screaming in your soul. Why did you let this happen? Where were you? Did you look away? Hear me now with every raw and bleeding fiber of your being. I never looked away, not for a second, not for the blink of an eye. While you were building, I was watching. When the first hidden fissure appeared in your foundation, I saw it. As you decorated rooms in a house I knew was built on sand, my heart ached with a love so fierce it chose the quake over the slow collapse. What you call destruction, I call the most severe mercy. You feel abandoned in this rubble, but you are not alone in it. I am here, closer than your next shuddering breath. I am not standing at a distance, surveying the damage. I am sitting with you in the dust. My robes are stained with the same debris. The tears you cry mingle with the tears I shed over a world where such shakings are necessary to get our attention. You think I am silent. My silence is not absence. It is the profound, heavy quiet of a surgeon who must cut to cure, of a father who must let the fever break to heal. I am speaking, but not in the language of explanations. I am speaking in the language of presence. I am here. Let me show you what I saw that you could not. You saw a sturdy house. I saw a prison of your own making, constructed with the bricks of other people's expectations, mortared with the fear of failure, decorated with the idols of comfort and control. It was beautiful to you. It kept you safe from the wild winds of my spirit. It had a door, but it was locked from the inside. You were living in a life that was good enough, but it was a life that stood directly on the plot of land where I destined your palace to be. You would have stayed there, my precious one. You would have grown old in those comfortable confining rooms, never stepping into the vastness I dreamed for you. So, with a love that is terrifying in its commitment, I permitted the unmaking. I did not send the storm in anger. I allowed the inherent instability of the sand to be revealed. I am not the author of the chaos, but I am the sovereign over it. And I have decreed that this very chaos will now serve your destiny, not destroy it. The collapse was not a sign of my disapproval, but a shocking evidence of my furious commitment to you. I love you too much to let you settle for a shack when I have a kingdom for you to inherit. The pain you feel is real. The grief is holy. I am not asking you to deny it. I am inviting you to bring it to me, here in the ruins. Pour out your anger, your confusion, your sense of betrayal. I can bear it. I will not scold you for your tears. Together we will sift through this rubble. And as we do, I will begin to show you something. Look at this broken piece in your hand, the piece of your shattered plan. Do you see? It was not solid oak. It was painted plaster. It looked strong, but it could not bear the weight of your true calling. Its breaking is a gift. You are asking why, and I will in time show you what for. But first you must let the old question die. The question, why did this happen to me, leads only in circles, into the maze of regret and victimhood. I am leading you to a new question. Father, what are you building in me and through me from these broken pieces? That question is a key. It turns your face from the devastation behind you to the open space before you. This feels like an ending. It is the ending of what was. But for something to begin, something else must end. You are in the sacred, painful space between the death of a seed and the emergence of a shoot. It is dark. It is confusing. It feels like decay. But I am the God of resurrection, and I specialize in bringing unshakable life out of what seems irretrievably dead. For now, just breathe. Just be. Let the shockwaves subside. You do not need to understand. You only need to let me hold you. I never looked away. My gaze has been fixed on you with an intensity that would frighten you if you could perceive it. I saw the collapse coming, and I also saw the magnificent open sky that would appear when the ceiling caved in. That sky is your future. The rubble is not your tomb. It is your raw material. Trust me, one more hour, then one more day. We will take this moment by moment. I am with you. I have always been with you. And this message, this very word finding you in your ruin, is the first proof. I am speaking to you in the wreckage. A judge pronounces sentence from a distant bench. A redeemer kneels in the dust with the condemned and whispers, I am here. We will get through this. Follow me. I am here. My beloved, the dust is beginning to settle. The initial shock is softening into a dull, persistent ache. Now, you look at the open space where your life once stood, and you feel a terrifying emptiness. It is vast. It is exposed. The wind howls through it in a way it never did when your walls were standing. This emptiness feels like abandonment. It feels like a void I have left you in. But I tell you, this emptiness is not a void. It is a clearing. It is the very thing you prayed for in hidden whispers you thought I didn't hear. You whispered for freedom, for purpose, for a life that mattered. You whispered to break cycles, to leave behind the mundane, to step into your true calling. But my child, you whispered those prayers while still clinging to the furniture inside the house. You wanted the new without releasing the old. You wanted the destination without the journey. Your hands were too full for me to place the new things I had for you. So, in my mercy, I have done for you what you could not do for yourself. I have created the clearing. Look at it now. This open space, raw and scraped clean. This is my canvas. The old structure, with its limited floor plan and familiar, suffocating corners, is gone. Now there is room. Room for me to move. Room for dreams you buried to resurface. Room for relationships that align with destiny to find you. Room for a work that touches eternity to take root. You could not have built the new on the foundation of the old. The old foundation was flawed. It was laid by human hands, yours and others, and it was uneven. It could only support a certain weight, a certain size of life. I have not left you with nothing. I have left you with potential. You see nothing. I see everything. You see barren ground. I see fertile soil, finely turned over and ready to receive the seeds of my promise. The most valuable real estate in any life is not the built-up, crowded city of human achievement. It is the cleared, empty, surrendered plot, dedicated and waiting for the architect's blueprint. You now own that priceless plot. Do you remember the prayers you muttered in frustration, in the quiet boredom of your old life? God, there must be more than this. I heard you. God, use me, but I feel so trapped. I heard you. God, I'll do anything, just show me my purpose. I heard every word, and I am answering. This clearing is the answer. It is the anything. It is the more. It is the necessary precondition for the use. The pain you feel is the pain of liberation. A bird born in a cage, when the door is finally opened, does not soar with immediate joy. It huddles in the back, terrified of the vastness, missing the familiar confines. It must learn that the open sky is not its enemy, but its birthright. You are that bird. The cage door has been blown off its hinges. The wind you feel is not a threat. It is the atmosphere of your true element. It is the wind of my spirit, and it is meant to lift you, not to frighten you. Let me show you what was hidden in the clutter. In the old house, you had a corner you called your prayer closet, but it was filled with boxes of worry and shelves of distraction. Now, the entire clearing is your prayer closet. Every step you take here is a step on holy ground. In the old house, you had a small window with a limited view. Now, you have a panoramic vista of my horizon. The limitations were not protecting you. They were inhibiting you. I know the temptation. The temptation is to rush, to grab the nearest materials and start building something, anything, to fill the awful emptiness, to silence the howling wind. Do not do this. This is the critical moment of the wilderness. If you build now, from your own panic and pain, you will only reconstruct a smaller, shakier version of the prison that just fell. You will build from memory, not from vision. I am calling you to a season of sacred waiting. But understand this waiting. It is not passive. It is intensely active. It is the waiting of a farmer in spring who does not yet plant, but who walks the field, testing the soil, studying the sun, planting the crop. Your work now is to walk with me in this clearing, to let me show you its boundaries, which are far wider than you think, to let me point out the springs of living water I have opened beneath the surface, to let me identify the stones from the old foundation that can be repurposed for the new. This is the time for new questions. Ask me, Father, what was in that old house that was truly from you? What do you want me to salvage? What false identities did those walls shelter that I can now let go of forever? What dream of yours for me was too large for those rooms to contain? The clearing proves my gaze never left you. A neglectful gardener lets the weeds choke out the plants. A committed gardener uproots everything to start anew. I am the committed gardener. You are my most treasured plot. This upheaval is the ultimate sign of my attentive, meticulous care. I am invested in your fruitfulness, and I will not settle for weeds and wild vines when I have destined you for an orchard of everlasting significance. Stay here with me in the open. Let the sun warm your skin. Let the rain fall on you. It may feel uncomfortable, exposed, but it is the exposure of truth. No more hiding, no more pretending. It is just you and me, and the vast, glorious, terrifying potential of what we will build together. The old life was a sentence written by human hands. This clearing is a blank page in the book I am authoring. The next chapter starts here, and I promise you, it is a story you could not have imagined from inside those walls. Breathe the free air. This emptiness is full of my presence. This silence is full of my voice. You are not lost. You are found. You are precisely where I need you to be. My beloved, you are walking with me in the clearing. The vastness is less terrifying now, but a new task rises before you, one that feels overwhelming. Scattered across this open ground are the remnants of your former life. Shattered beams, torn fabrics, broken keepsakes. Your instinct is to see it all as worthless debris, a painful mess to be hauled away and forgotten. Or worse, to try and glue every piece back together, attempting to resurrect a ghost. Today we begin the salvage operation. This is not an act of archaeology, digging up a dead past. It is an act of holy discernment, separating what was true from what was false in the structure that fell. For not everything in that house was a prison wall. Some things were gifts from my hand that you merely kept in the wrong room. Some things were tools you will need for the palace. And some things were indeed chains, painted to look like decor, that must be left in the sun to rust away forever. I am here to be your foreman. We will go piece by piece. Hold up this fragment. The fragment of that relationship that ended. You feel only the sting of its severing, but look closer. Do you see the patina of patience you developed within it? That patience is not broken. It is a refined skill, forged in friction, and I am salvaging it. It will be crucial for shepherding the people I will bring to you. The form of the relationship is gone, but the virtue it produced in you remains. That is yours to keep. Now here is a slab of stone, the stone of your former reputation, your title, your place in the world. It lies cracked in two. You mourn it as a loss of identity. But watch as my hand touches it. The engraving on its surface, the letters spelling what people think, fades like mist. What is left is the bare, clean stone of character, the integrity you built, the diligence you learned, the faithfulness you practiced. That stone is unbroken. That is the true foundation stone I will use. The reputation was a fleeting shadow cast by the stone. The character is the stone itself. We keep the substance. We leave the shadow. Here, buried under splinters, is a small locked box. It is your creativity, your unique expression. In the old house, you kept it locked in a closet, believing it was too impractical, too risky, too you to be displayed. The quake has shaken it free. The lock is broken. Open it. The treasures inside are not only intact, they are gleaming, energized by the fresh air of this clearing. This is not debris. This is buried gold. We are salvaging it all. But see over there? That pile of ornate, gilded molding? It looks beautiful, impressive. Touch it. It is hollow, made of plaster and foil. This is the approval you worked so tirelessly to earn. The praise you structured your days around. It decorated your walls, but it had no structural strength. When the shaking came, it was the first to crumble to dust. We will not salvage this. We will not mourn it. We will sweep it aside. It served only to impress visitors to a house that was doomed to fall. It has no place in the eternal structure we are planning. This is the sacred process, to hold each memory, each skill, each fragment of your past, and ask me, Father, is this from you? Is this eternal substance or temporal vanity? I will tell you, your spirit will bear witness. What brings a sense of peace, of rightness, of enduring truth? That is mine, and we keep it. What brings a shiver of shame, the hollow echo of performance, the ache of bondage? That was from the enemy, the world, or your own fearful striving, and we let it go. There will be pieces you are terrified to examine. That blackened, twisted piece of metal in the corner, that is the failure you think defines you. You want to hide it, bury it. Bring it to me. Let us look at it together under the light of my grace. Do you see? The heat of that failure did not destroy you. It tempered you. It burned away a layer of pride, of self-reliance. The shape is twisted, but the metal itself, the core of who you are, is stronger for having passed through that fire. I am not salvaging the event of the failure. I am salvaging the humility and resilience it produced in you. Those are jewels. This operation is proof I never looked away. A thief raids a house and takes everything of value, leaving only wreckage. I am not a thief. I am a restorer. I am sifting through the wreckage with you to recover every single ounce of eternal value. I waste nothing. Not your tears, not your years, not your mistakes, not your pain. All of it is raw material for redemption. The enemy meant it all for harm. I will use it all for good, for the saving of many lives, starting with yours. Do not rush. This takes time. Tenderness is required. Some days you will only be able to sort through a handful of fragments before the grief rises again. That is okay. We have all the time you need. This clearing is under my protection. No storm can threaten you here while we do this holy work. As we salvage, you will feel a strange new strength growing. It is the strength of integration. You are no longer fleeing your past or idolizing it. You are redeeming it. You are gathering up the scattered pieces of your true self, the self that was hidden, fragmented, and buried under the architecture of a false life. You are, for the first time, becoming whole. By the end of this, you will not have a pile of rubble and a pile of treasure. You will have only the treasure. The rest will have decomposed in the light of my truth, returned to the dust from which it came. You will stand in your clearing with a collection of refined, eternal assets, proven faith, tempered courage, authentic gifts, purified love. And you will know beyond any doubt that I was in every moment. I was watching. I was gathering. I was preparing. This is the turning point. You are not a victim of a collapse. You are a participant in a reclamation. Hold up the next fragment. I am here. Let's see what it truly is. My beloved reclaimer, the salvage is underway. You are learning to distinguish substance from shadow. Now, a holy anticipation begins to stir. The clearing no longer feels only like a scar, it feels like a sight. The piles of eternal treasure, the salvaged patience, integrity, creativity, resilience, are gathered. You look at them, and then you look at the vast empty space, and the question forms, what now? What is this all for? Today I pull from the very fabric of heaven a scroll. It is not made of parchment, but of living light. I unroll it across the expanse of your clearing, and it fits perfectly, edge to edge. This, my child, is the blueprint. It is the master plan for what I have always intended to build here. What was destroyed was not your destiny. It was the obstruction to it. This blueprint is your destiny, visualized. You squint at the light, struggling to make out the shapes. It seems complex, magnificent, overwhelming. I cannot build this, you whisper. I don't have the strength, the skill, the resources. You are correct. You cannot. And you were never meant to. I am the builder. Your season of striving to construct your own life from your own understanding is over. That was the way of the old house. This is the way of the palace. You will build with me, as a yielded apprentice to the master architect. Your hands will move, but my spirit will guide them. Your mind will plan, but my wisdom will direct it. Your strength will be applied, but it will be my resurrection power flowing through your veins. Let your eyes adjust to the light. Look at the first element on the blueprint. It is not a wall or a roof. It is a well, a deep, artesian well, dug down to the everlasting springs. This represents your prayer life. In the old structure, your prayers were like water fetched from a distant cistern, often stale, limited, effortful. In the new, the source of living water is at the very center. Everything will draw from this intimacy with me. Your work, your relationships, your rest, all will be hydrated by the constant, easy flow of communion. This is the first thing we dig. Next, see the foundations. They are not laid on the shifting sand of circumstance or emotion. They are anchored into the bedrock of my spoken word. Each cornerstone is a promise I have whispered to your spirit, a scripture that has resonated with your core. Notice their arrangement. They do not form a small square base. They are set far apart, outlining a territory much larger than you ever imagined for yourself. The palace I see is spacious. It has room for generations. It has wings for hospitality, towers for vision, courtyards for celebration. Your old life was a studio apartment. This is a royal compound. Do you see the materials listed? Look. Forgiven past, used as load-bearing masonry. Present obedience, used as fitted stone. Testimony, used as interior adornment. Every salvaged piece of truth from our earlier work has a designated place. That painful experience? It will be a cornerstone of the counseling chamber where you will heal others. That hidden talent, it will become a graceful archway through which many will pass into freedom. I waste nothing. Your past is not discarded. It is repurposed into structural glory. Now see the notation for the gates. They are called praise and thanksgiving. They face east and west. They are never to be shut. This is crucial. The old house had a locked door of self-protection. This palace is a place of open-handed generosity and ceaseless worship. Its security does not come from barred gates, but from my presence within its walls. Vulnerability will be its strength, because I am its guardian. I know your fears. The blueprint shows a structure exposed to the sky. Where is the roof, you ask? What about the storms? My child, the covering is not a physical roof. It is my favor. It is the pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. It is the tangible atmosphere of my blessing that will rest upon this place, shielding it from what would destroy it and attracting what will nourish it. You will live under an open heaven, not a ceiling of your own making. This is why the clearing was necessary. You could not add this structure onto the old one. You could not live under a ceiling and an open heaven. You had to choose. The storm that removed the roof was not an attack. It was an invitation into a deeper form of protection, my direct, sovereign covering. Your role is changing, from builder to site manager, from architect to steward. Your primary tasks are now to consult the blueprint daily in my presence, to obey the foreman's, my spirit's, immediate instructions, and to receive the shipments of grace and resources I send. The materials will come in ways you do not expect. Through a word from a stranger, an unexpected provision, a sudden divine connection. Your job is to recognize them and say, yes, this belongs on the west wall according to the plan. The construction will not follow human timelines. There will be days of furious activity, where walls seem to rise overnight in a flurry of synchronicity and grace. There will be seasons of waiting, where the foundation must settle, where things must happen unseen, underground. Trust the process. I am not in a hurry. I am building something eternal. This blueprint is the ultimate proof I never looked away. While you were living in the model home of a lesser life, I was in my studio, drafting this. I was measuring you, understanding your capacities, designing a dwelling that would perfectly fit the person I created you to become. The collapse was not Plan B. It was the necessary demolition to begin Plan A. So stand on the edge of your clearing, with the scroll of light at your feet. Breathe. The anxiety of figuring it all out melts away. You are not responsible for the design. You are invited into the co-labor. This is the great exchange. Your exhaustion for my yoke. Your confusion for my blueprint. Your striving for my partnership. The first instruction is simple. Pick up the stone of your surrendered will. We will lay it today together as the first act of construction. It will be the stone that says, not my will, but yours be done. From this stone, everything else will align. The palace awaits. Let us begin. My beloved builder, the cornerstone of surrender is set. The blueprint glows with promise. Now you look at the stacks of salvaged material and the vastness of the plan, and a practical fear whispers, the vision is beautiful, but how? With what strength? Who will help? You feel the weight of your own insufficiency like a physical burden. Today, I pull back the curtain. You have been looking at the construction site with natural eyes, seeing only your two hands, your limited resources, your solitary frame. But this is a supernatural build. For every visible task, there is an unseen grace. For every stone you lift, there is an angel strengthening your arm. For every decision, there is my wisdom flowing into your mind, like a clear river. You are not building alone. You are at the center of a heavenly supply chain. The first and most crucial delivery is already within you. My indwelling spirit. He is not a consultant who visits the site. He is the foreman, the master craftsman, the divine engineer who lives in you. His presence turns your ordinary efforts into supernatural acts. When you pray over a decision, that is him aligning your spirit with the blueprint. When you feel a sudden, clear knowing of what to do next, that is him whispering the day's instructions. When you find strength you didn't know you had, that is his resurrection power surging through your weariness. Your body is now his temple. This construction site is his current renovation project. You are not serving a distant foreman. You are yielding to an indwelling one. Now, observe the perimeter of your clearing. Do you see them? The shimmer in the air, the sense of vigilant presence? These are the angelic sentinels I have assigned to this project. Their assignments are specific: to guard the shipments of grace, to deflect spiritual vandalism, to clear blockades from your path, and to assist in the heavy lifting of destiny. You do not command them. I deploy them in response to your faith-filled obedience and your prayers. They are activated by your yes. When you step out to lay a stone of forgiveness, a squadron clears the air of bitter spirits. When you choose praise in the midst of confusion, They reinforce the foundations against the next tremor. You are never alone in the labor. Next, understand the principle of manna resources. In the wilderness, I did not give my people a warehouse of grain for 40 years. I gave daily bread. So it is with this build. You will not receive a lump sum of everything you think you need. You will receive grace for the phase. The right connection will appear for the networking wing. The specific skill will be learned just in time for the innovation chamber. The financial provision will arrive precisely for the next procurement. This is not to keep you anxious, but to keep you dependent, attentive, and in daily communion with me. Your insecurity is the very condition that keeps the channel of my supply wide open. Your need is not a problem. It is the prerequisite for my miracle. Look at the materials you salvaged. I am now sending specialist craftsmen in human form. They are people whose spirits I have prepared, whose own journeys have given them exact skills needed for your palace. The encourager who speaks life exactly when you doubt. The practical helper who shows up to hold a plank. The wise counselor who offers the key insight. They will not look like a corporate board. They will look like divine appointments, seemingly random encounters that you will recognize by the resonance in your spirit. Do not dismiss the humble. My best masons often wear ordinary clothes. Welcome them. Their help is my provision. But there is a deeper, unseen masonry at work, the mortar of intercession. You are being built up by the prayers of the saints, by the cloud of witnesses, by my own Son who ever lives to make intercession for you. When you feel a sudden surge of peace in chaos, that is the mortar setting. When inexplicable favor smooths a rough path, that is the prayers of others forming a seamless joint. You are held together by a web of heavenly prayer that you cannot see, but you can surely feel. Your own prayers are not just requests. They are you actively mixing and applying this supernatural mortar to the walls of your own life. This is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you in the old, small house. A solitary person in a self-made shelter is a manageable target. A person co-laboring with angels, filled with the Spirit, supplied by daily manna, surrounded by a company of destiny, and cemented by global intercession, is a fortress in motion. The clearing did not make you vulnerable. It made you accessible, to me, and to all the resources of heaven. So when fatigue comes, do not pray, give me strength. Pray, foreman, display your strength in my weakness. When confusion clouds the blueprint, do not strive for clarity. Say, Master Architect, adjust my sight. Show me the next stone. Your language is shifting from the plea of a desperate laborer to the communication of a trusted site manager. Now, look at your hands. They are not just your hands. They are the point of contact between the heavenly blueprint and the earthly materials. When you lift them in worship, you are aligning the site with heaven's frequency. When you extend them to help another, you are diverting a shipment of grace to their construction site, which in turn triggers a reciprocal blessing to your own. This economy is governed by the law of the spirit of life. The construction will have moments that feel like setback. A storm may seem to damage the work. A delivered stone may not fit as you expected. In those moments, remember, the foreman sees the whole blueprint. What looks like a ruined wall may be the necessary space for a hidden door that will later welcome a multitude. Trust his oversight. Your perspective is from the scaffold. His is from the throne. You asked for proof, I never looked away. Here it is. The precision of the supply, the timeliness of the help, the coherence of the plan emerging from the chaos. A neglected building site decays. A watched-over one thrives. Your site is humming with unseen activity. The proof is in the progressing foundation, stone by grace-filled stone. Take up the trowel of faith today. Mix the mortar of gratitude. The next stone is ready. The unseen helpers are standing by. Let's build. My beloved, look up. The silhouette against the sky is no longer a memory of rubble or the ghost of a fallen roof. The frame of your new dwelling rises, strong, graceful, aligned to the cardinal points of my purpose. The wind that once howled through emptiness now sings through archways. The sun that beat down on exposed ground now paints warm patterns through latticed windows of wisdom. You are no longer standing in a clearing. You are standing in a sanctuary in progress. And as we place the final symbolic stone of this phase, I speak to you the ultimate purpose of it all. This palace was never just for you. Every room has a name. This chamber of healed memory is called the counseling place. That hall lined with the artifacts of your survival is the gallery of testimony. The spacious courtyard at the center is the gathering of the peacemakers. The high tower with its panoramic view is the watchtower of intercession. You thought I was building you a private mansion. I've been constructing a public sanctuary. You are not the owner. You are the steward. You are not the destination. You are the doorway. The violent mercy that unmade your small life was never just about your comfort. It was about your capacity. The old you could host a few friends for dinner. The new you will host nations for healing. The old you could contain a trickle of my blessing. The new you is designed to channel a river of living water to a parched land. The breaking was not punishment. It was an enlargement. Your heartbreak created the capacity for greater compassion. Your loss carved out a reservoir for greater gain. Your humiliation laid the foundation for eternal glory. Now I give you your perpetual commission. Hold the door open. The gates of praise and thanksgiving are to remain swung wide. You are to be a living invitation. When you meet one who is still standing in the wreckage of their own collapse, you will not say, "Let me tell you about my palace." You will say, "I know the builder. Come, let me introduce you. He has a blueprint for your ruins too." Your testimony is not a trophy to display. It is a tool to dismantle despair. Your palace is not a monument to your resilience. It is a hospital, a school, an embassy of heaven, with you as the head usher. This is the final, irrefutable proof I never looked away. The purpose. Random chaos produces only debris. Sovereign love produces a sanctuary with your name on the cornerstone, and 1,000 empty chairs waiting to be filled with those you will lead home. Every step of this journey, the shock, the clearing, the salvage, the blueprint, the grace, has been meticulously orchestrated to forge in you a mercy that remembers its own pain and an authority that knows its source. You will now move through the world differently. You will no longer fear shaking in others because you recognize the sound of necessary demolition. You will no longer envy the seemingly perfect houses of others because you know the emptiness of walls built without a true foundation. You will walk with a quiet confidence that comes not from having all the answers, but from knowing the architect. There will be moments you will miss the simplicity of the old, small life. In those moments, walk to the eastern gate, the gate of praise. Look out at the path that led you here. You will not see a path of abandonment. You will see a trail of breadcrumbs made of grace. Every provision, every sent helper, every moment of comfort in the dust. You will see that my gaze was a constant flame, guiding you through the dark, warming you in the desolation, igniting the blueprint, and empowering every stone laid. This is our new covenant. You dwell in the palace I build, and I dwell in you. Your vulnerability is its strength. Your obedience is its maintenance. Your open door is its mission. You will never be finished building, because there will always be another room to add for another soul in need, another story of redemption to incorporate into its walls. This is everlasting life, not a static heaven, but an ever-expanding participation in my creative, redemptive love. So go, walk through your halls, let your spirit memorize their contours. This is your base of operations for the rest of your days on Earth. From here, you will launch rescues. From here, you will send out wisdom. From here, you will broadcast peace. The world will look at you and see a person of substance, of depth, of unsettling peace. They will not see a life untouched by storms. They will see a sanctuary built in the very heart of the storm, by the one who commands the winds. You asked, "Did you look away?" I answer with a palace where there was once a prison. I answer with a calling where there was once a cage. I answer with a family of the future where there was once loneliness. I answer with a heart forged in fire and now beating in sync with mine. I never looked away. I was drawing the blueprint. I was mixing the mortar. I was setting the cornerstone. I was building a dwelling for my glory in you and through you, for the world. The work continues. The door is open. Welcome home, my beloved builder, steward, and friend. Now let's go find the others. Amen.